Another Like a Dragon game is coming.
I saw that.
Straight to Game Pass.
Okay, I missed Like a Dragon, so I won't play that one either.
PlayStation Game Pass?
No, Xbox. Yesterday was all all Xbox.
It's okay.
It was all Xbox. Today is Capcom and Ubisoft, and then PlayStation will probably be like tomorrow or some shit if they join in.
Sweet.
But it's a couple of days of just everything going on with games for the next year.
All right, let's do it. Welcome to the Sofa Kingdom podcast with your hosts Nelson,
Ian,
Ed.
We are here. Eddie is queer.
Well, even if he was.
Yes, it is the month for it, and we support you.
It is the month.
It is the month for it.
He is correct.
He did get that right.
Yes,
he got that right.
And we love everybody.
He's correct every now and then.
Every now and then he gets something.
I do. It was also the Puerto Rican Day Parade yesterday, which I've been celebrating kind of like angrily because in New York, we would have this amazing parade, lots of people, food, music, culture. Here in Florida, we get none of it. Nothing. I walked around in my Puerto Rico attire yesterday, all by my lonesome. I yelled "Wepa" at strangers. They ran. I think it was fun.
As my people call it, National Stay Inside Day.
I think in New York it's a little bit easier because Puerto Ricans tend to dominate most of the Spanish in New York versus down here.
It's a mixed bag.
You have a huge mix of Cuban, Dominican, and Mexican, and Guatemala. There's a massive mix of everyone from South America that makes it to Florida.
Florida's as close as it gets.
Yeah, just make it a Latin day. I mean, I'm all inclusive. Make it a Latin day. I'm just like, it's a fun time. Like if you've never experienced the New York kind of parade, whether it was like a Rangers parade when they win, or if ever since the early 90s, Yankees.
New York can't win anything soon.
When they win and they throw a parade, it's huge. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. And the Puerto Rican Day Parade is very similar in that aspect, except like you got people that are just straight selling food out of coolers.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're not even mad. You're like, fuck it, I'm gonna eat it. If I die, I die. But it's usually good.
They could lean into being on Latin American. I think Arawak was the Native Americans that are the whole area there before they got discovered.
That's a nice way to
by Columbus
flavor it.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. It's like, man, these conversations.
It's okay. I'm more of a Leif Erikson guy. I'm not going to defend Christopher Columbus.
That's right, like pillar plundage.
Yeah, he's not my people.
Yeah.
That's the greater area name of the American. Yeah. You got the Taino, who was in the actual area there in the water and a little bit of South Florida, but Arawak kind of was the group overall for the whole area. So Taino is part of that, if you want to start getting real technical with it.
My people discovered Minnesota, so the Native American tribes up there, like the Huron, they can hate me, but I did not discover you, Florida.
Right. The cheese in Green Bay, the oranges in Florida.
This is not. The Native American people of Florida. I didn't do this.
Yes, the Loxahatcheans.
Yeah, I did not fucking do this. I didn't do it.
Those are the natives to Florida.
I did not discover you. The Spanish did that.
The Lox life.
That was not me.
Yeah.
That was not my people. We did not do this.
So
isn't it Latinx now?
No.
It's not? Oh, okay.
All right, this podcast is over. Get the fuck out of here.
I thought it was Latinx.
This isn't the Fast and the Furious.
Oh, all right.
Ask any Latin person, and it is a firm no. No, it is not.
All right.
Yes.
Well, don't other people just decide things for you guys now? Isn't that how it goes?
Oh, yeah, that's how it goes. And
everyone is outraged for everybody else but their own group.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's where that's coming from.
Okay. I was gonna say, I was like, I didn't know you guys needed that, but all right.
No, we definitely don't. And when it comes to
I like using it around
Communities that can take a punch in the face as far as insults are concerned. I got to say, you got to give it to the Irish. They're probably the number one that take insults, Lucky Charms. They're never going after the motherfucker on the box. You got Latin people, right?
They don't have a military, I don't think. I don't even know if Ireland has a military.
Listen, they don't give a fuck.
They're like, we're close enough to England.
We're
close enough to England. Nobody's attacking
Italians
us.
got thick skin. Puerto Ricans got thick skin. Mexicans. It usually is a few people online that are speaking up for everybody else that doesn't.
It
really
almost
give a
seems
fuck.
like the people that don't have their own culture are outraged for everybody else's benefit and culture.
Oh yeah, they're the first to call you on a cultural appropriation. They're the first.
It's like, bro, I didn't even ask you.
Yeah.
I love it when you see those little videos where like there's a guy on Cinco de Mayo and he's wearing like a completely Mexican outfit. Like bright colors, sombrero. And he's walking around Latin people and they're like, hey, wepa, wepa. And then he goes into like a suburban neighborhood and they're like, that's cultural appropriation. He's like, bro, I was just hanging out with them. They loved it. They loved
they don't
it.
give a shit.
I seen the video you're talking about.
Yeah. It was fucking great because they were all about it. Like, have a drink, hang out, eat. He goes into his
like, what a time to be alive where you might lose your job based on the hat you wear to cut your lawn. Sir, I saw you cutting your hat in that rice bowl hat.
Goddamn right, you did not.
You're using your riding mower with your rice bowl hat on.
Hey, that wasn't properly vetted, sir. You need to be wearing.
It's a well-designed hat to keep the sun off me.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
It was actually made for the fields.
I didn't care who designed it or where it was built. I want that fucking hat.
At some point, it went from we should all join together and share cultures together, and now we have this weird little group of like, how dare you enjoy somebody else's culture in the way I don't want you to.
When we grew up, they literally called it a melting pot.
Yep.
Right? A melting pot.
Not anymore. The melting pot has become a mess, and now we need to separate everything again.
Yeah, it's a melting pot, but it has little separate parts at the bottom.
Now it is a bento box. There's little individual compartments for everything.
Yeah, it would seem that the woke culture wants to segregate us. That's what it would seem. It would seem like they want to bring that word back.
Man, that's fucked up. Speaking of segregation, didn't you go watch sumo wrestling this year?
I did. I'm actually wearing the shirt. So yes, I did go to the sumo.
How was it?
It was actually a lot of fun. It's probably as close as you can get to like real sumo without an expensive flight to Japan.
Nice.
And hoping you get there in time for one of the 6 tournaments a year, and somehow getting tickets that sell out in the first hour. Like it's
pretty dope. Now, do they have some traditions like Thai boxing? Like when you watch traditional Thai boxing, like they dance and they do.
Yes, they have a whole like almost like judo and karate. They have a kata. Well, sumo does too.
Yep.
They go through the whole motion of like the clapping. Like these guys are like it's wild because you're like 400 pounds.
Yeah.
But like they'll like lift their leg way up in the air, like almost like they're like in crazy dexterity, and then they stomp. They can all drop into complete splits.
Fuck.
I'm like, dude, like. You're looking at them, and you can tell they got fat on them.
Yeah.
But you can also, like, these guys are strong as shit.
Right.
Like I'm just looking like their legs and their calves. I'm like, dude, these guys are insanely powerful.
I would love to go to Disney and hire like 4 sumo wrestlers to just surround me and just walk from area to area, like nobody's gonna push them. They're gonna get out of the way. They're professional pushers.
Yeah, it's like the smallest guy there was like 5'10", but he was like 275. Like, he was the little guy. He was he's too heavy to even fight in the UFC, and he was the smallest guy there.
So they sound like they're pretty agile, even for big men.
Yes. Very agile. And the one guy there, I think his name was Chio, he's in that Netflix show Sanctuary that just came out, and it's like a big hit. He was like one of the stars in it.
Nice.
So like it was actually cool because like one of the guys like in the ranks of sumo, the highest you can get besides for Yokozuna is Ozeki, and the one guy there hosting it was Konishiki. He was the first person to ever reach that rank that wasn't Japanese born. He was American. He was Hawaiian. And he's a gigantic guy, but he's like in his 50s now, and he's there hosting.
I mean, you know what? They have the right bone structure for it when you really think about it. Hawaiians are built bigger.
Well, he was huge. At his biggest competing weight, he was 610 pounds.
Damn.
So he was a monster.
Try to push that man out of a ring.
The caloric intake must be insane to maintain
average
that weight.
of 5,000 a day.
Eat
average.
what?
Average.
Eat, sleep, train, and literally in that order. Eat, go to sleep, get up, train, do it again.
Right, so you can retain the weight because you're eating and then going right to sleep.
Yeah, they mandatorily take a nap every day, like right after the big training session. They eat like the biggest meal of the day, and then they sleep so that they can recover. And
they're pretty much like highly revered in Japan, right? Like it's a huge thing.
Sumo is tied in with their religion.
Yeah,
like it's weird because like the Yokozuna, like he's heavily scrutinized. Like when you reach that rank, you have to like behave a certain way. Because you're actually an important figure in the country. It's not like like here you win the Super Bowl, you're the head quarterback, whatever. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
I mean, like if you want to go drive drunk and like have 6 wives, it's whatever. Yeah. But like in Japan, no. Like when you appear in public, you have to behave a certain way. Yep. Even when you win your match, you're not supposed to like
show
emotion. No, you're supposed to just win.
You're supposed to be humble,
bow. And that's it. Like you're, it's
there's something to that. That's pretty
there is, but
it's like a samurai, right? It's that mentality.
The sport is that old.
Yeah,
it's like 1,000 years old.
It's weird. The Shinto religion, which is pretty much in Japan, it's very widespread and practice and then not practice all at the same time. There's shrines everywhere, and people will go to them.
Right.
But they also will ignore them like 364 days out of the year. It's like
Yeah.
It's a very weird. It's
almost like a gimmicky thing to do.
Yeah,
like pray at the shrine.
It's almost like it's just part of the thing you do.
Right.
Versus versus being legitimately practiced as the religion.
Right. It's kind of like the king and the queen of England.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of like you're just there for show.
Nobody gives a shit.
But yeah, it's like, do we really fucking need you? You know. But so all right. So back to sumo. So what's like a match consist of? I've never actually watched a match. Like what's it involved?
They do their whole thing where they face each other down, bow, respect, all that. Matches always start and end with a bow, much like a karate bout or something like that. But like the way to win is essentially forcing your opponent out if any part of their body touches the outside of the ring. If any part of their body besides their 2 feet, knees, hands, whatever, touches the ground, you're out.
Okay.
You can get disqualified. You can't like punch someone in the face.
Right.
You can't kick.
So no striking.
You can slap the absolute piss out of your opponent. If it's an open-handed strike, it's completely legal.
Face too, or just body?
Oh yes. You can slap your opponent unconscious.
Wow.
If you're good enough to do it. The Mongolians love to do that.
Yeah, the 1,000-hand slap is a thing.
It's not just E Honda in Street Fighter. That's an actual thing. Like they light each other up. They break each other's nose. And I believe you can even get off with a forearm. You can even get off with that because I've seen guys start matches out and they bring up one hand to like shield your eyes.
Right.
And so they'll start the match. They'll come up off the ground like this and like they go right in your eyes with this and then they just come under your chin with their forearm. And if you're not expecting it, lights out.
That's going to fucking hit you.
400-pound guy exploding off the ground. That's it. That's a heavyweight boxer punch right there. That's it. That's lights out.
And so is it like a point system or is it just you're out?
You're out. The way the tournaments go is like for instance, July. So like around July 10th, July 11th, there'll be day 1 of the tournament. It goes for 15 days consecutively. You fight 15 matches in that month. And the person who's the closest to 15-0 wins the match. Doesn't matter what you're like. And it's weird because like only the top so many wrestlers get paid. There's like so many different ranks, and like you get promoted like as you go up.
Right.
And so yeah, once you get into it, it's actually a really cool sport to get into. But it's got its problems. It's very there's a lot of I don't want to say racism, but racism in Japanese sumo.
Right.
Like it's really hard for outsiders to move up. There's only certain spots. There's only certain spots at a stable.
Right.
Like for foreigners. Only like each stable has like one spot for a foreigner.
Huh.
So like you get really good at sumo and like you get to compete in Japan. You only have like 40 out of the 43 schools. You have 43 spots. And like if they get taken by a Ukrainian, a Russian, you don't get in.
That's it.
Doesn't matter if there's another opening on the team. That's for a Japanese born guy.
Yeah.
You don't get that spot.
It's very much a fraternity.
Yes. Right.
And it's been that way for a very long time. And Japan is very much a big fan of tradition and keeping the order of things.
Oh yeah, everything's paid for too when you
to
live
get
there.
them to change that is, to get them to even have people that were from outside of Japan is a huge thing. So it's like we're not letting 2 people on the team.
Yeah.
Well, because I was thinking we could sponsor from the United States that Gorgon the Destroyer chick.
Oh, Gorlock, yeah.
Gorlock, right?
Gorlock the Destroyer.
Yeah, I mean, she could probably take us to some gold medals.
She could at least qualify. Yeah. They do actually, believe it or not, they have. I think we looked it up. They do have female sumo wrestlers, but they can't get paid or something.
It's like
more cultural shit.
Yeah. But I mean, it sounds like something fun to watch. But is this the first time they brought this down here? Or
He said he was going to launch it in 2018, 2017. He said, or it might have been 2019, but the pandemic shut everything down.
Okay.
He said like he was going to take off with it, but he said like he was doing
waiting.
the tour, and then COVID happened, and now he's back on the road. It's only certain cities. Nice. It's gonna he went to Miami. He's going to New York. He's going to hit LA, and then it's done for the year.
Nice.
So it only goes to certain places.
Just the big spots.
Yes, just big spots that you can generate.
You got to hit the city that's big enough to draw enough people in.
Places
to
was
make
packed.
It worth it.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun
place was packed.
A fun event to go to. Now, food wise, was it just sushi?
Yeah. They had Japanese snacks
Did
and
they have
stuff.
Steak?
No, there was chicken katsu in mine. There was fried chicken in mine.
Right.
You could have the regular seats where you had the option of purchasing food, or you had mine where it was ringside where this food was included. There was VIP skyboxes that were all bought out. I mean, they were selling everything: Japanese beer, Japanese snacks.
Did they bring in proper sushi chefs for the event, or did they local host a couple of people that might have been good?
There was a local Miami sushi place that's real big. It's called Mochi Mochi or something, and they were partnered with this event. So I guess they partnered with a local sushi place that people recommend, and like the bento box was fresh sushi. I was concerned about that. I was like, okay, are we gonna get like packaged shitty sushi? It was not. The sushi was.
I was gonna say
good.
like Wawa on the packaging. You're like, is this gas station sushi?
It was really good. It had like fresh cut sashimi in the actual bento box. I was like, okay, this is good. And like they gave us like snack appetizers. They gave us a big old bowl like sumo soup, like chankonabe. And then at the end of it, you got it was it was the weirdest fucking thing ever. It was like this Japanese snack. It was like a tube, and it wasn't like Go-Gurt. It was like Jello in a tube.
Huh. Yeah, they're fans of jelly for some reason. They got a lot of jelly snacks.
It was good, but the consistency gets a fucking 0 out of 10. I mean, you're like pulling Jello out of a tube. I was like, this is fucking gross.
But you also definitely...
Somebody was watching Ian from across the crowd like,
oh, definitely.
Yeah, get that Jello.
Yeah.
Get that Jello.
The mochi was good, though. The ice cream, the freeze-dried ice cream,
great.
that was great.
Yes.
But the Jello in a tube, one and done for me, man. Not
hard
again.
pass. Hard pass.
Flavor fine, consistency 0, I'm done.
Japanese snacks are very touch and go because they do have a lot of snacks that are seafood based.
Oh, prawn chips. I had prawn chips. They were potato chips flavored like prawn. What does a prawn taste like? I don't know. Get the potato chips. Kind of, yeah. There's definitely an ass.
If you're into eating ass, get yourself some prawn chips.
Well, actually, there's how many of those companies that ship boxes to you from Japan of snacks. You don't have to
That's the name of the podcast. If you're into eating ass,
prawn chips. Might I recommend prawn chips? They were actually not bad. They were not bad.
All right.
So you know, as good as ass, I'm not sure.
All right.
Give or take.
Ass is better. But
depends on the ass.
Right.
Depends on the ass. Not all ass is made easy.
If it's as good as ass.
Are we talking like post gym Loti Nada ass? I mean, that's some low quality ass there, you know.
I have so many questions right now.
Not all ass is built the same, you know.
Are you actually waiting for different flavors? You're like, ooh, post ass gym, pre ass gym.
Listen, man, there's Kobe beef and then there's ground chuck. Right? That's all I'm gonna say. This, you know, it was decent. As far as chips go, I've had worse.
No, it looked like a really cool, interesting event. You know, so
it was.
To do.
I mean, was it expensive? I would say it depends. Depends on how you look at it. Like the starting tickets, for being a spectator, was $75. The tickets I paid for, I looked at reviews on it, and they said based on what their experience was, they would pay for the ringside seats because of what you get.
Right.
And it was a lot of shit that we got. Yeah. Considering your seat, how close you are to the athletes. Some of the athletes even came and sat at seats that were open, at our table. So we were right there with the athletes.
All right.
So my ticket personally was around $140.
Okay.
So is it pricey? Yes,
but worth it
for a night out and an experience like that.
But also,
I'm not going to get that outside of Japan.
140, you're in spitting distance of the ring. You're being fed. The athletes are right there. That's not too bad.
It wasn't when I considered it's a night out in Miami. Yeah. Everything's included, and where else are you going to do this?
Yeah.
There's literally nowhere else I'm going to get this unless I spend the money on a ticket.
To put it in perspective, it's about $120 for medieval nights,
medieval times.
You know what I mean?
Go.
And you don't get to sit with the princess and the king and the queen and shit like that.
And they're just actors. These dudes are actors. These dudes are they had their name, what stable they were at, what they're like. You know, the one guy, a couple of them are actors, and the other guy's a professional wrestler.
Nice.
It's like, and then some of them are still active in coaching and stuff. So you're with guys that are like they're actual sumo wrestlers.
Could you bet there? Was there a gambling
no, it wasn't
to
that, but there was like a tournament at the end of the thing to see which one of the guys won. And when the smallest guy, believe it or not, won.
Nice.
He actually, the smallest wrestler there was the guy that prevailed in the end.
Nice.
So it was actually a pretty entertaining thing. I would do it again. And I would recommend it.
Okay. I mean, the sport it's managed to live this long, but if they don't branch it out, it is going to start to die because Japan in a whole, their population is going down.
Yeah.
And they're having an issue with essentially population collapse as it is. So as that happens, those little bits of their culture are going to start fading away if they don't export them out to other places in the world.
Well, if they stop getting creative with their anime like they have been, maybe some of them.
Listen, I have a way to solve population
How many
control
isekais can we get?
in Japan. It's very simple. Puerto Rico's been having a lot of issues with their island. They need babies. Puerto Ricans make babies.
We are island people.
Listen, we are island people.
Japan's a big island.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you talking about fusing?
Yes, Puerto Rican Japanese fusion. Repopulate, make the babies.
No. The Japanese don't eat that much pork.
Those sumo wrestlers will have fatter asses.
Jesus God. The Japanese don't dance like that. No way. They don't have that rhythm.
Hey, maybe it'll add a little something to the sport.
Plus, you're not close enough. How are you going to get there? Like, what the fuck?
Listen, we're inventive people. Just get some long rope and
we're going to build a speed train?
Start pulling the rope.
Speed train?
Just pick the island that's doing the best and move there. That's it. Fly all the Puerto Ricans over. Listen, we're down for a party. Fuck it. You tell them like, yo, we're all going to Japan. All right, let's do it. We're in. Just got to bring our roosters and chickens with us and maybe a chupacabra or two.
I'm not.
And not the Mexican chupacabra, the Puerto Rican chupacabra. The evil, nasty one, not the cute and fuzzy one that they depicted on Netflix. That's some bullshit.
How'd that show do? I never even remember.
I don't. It
they were advertising it.
Did anyone see it?
I
don't know anyone that's seen it.
I wasn't. I
seen like 20 minutes of it just because I was curious to see what it was.
Did anyone see Little Mermaid?
No.
Anyone see Spider-Verse yet?
Not yet.
We're slacking here.
I know we have this whole having like lives thing kills us sometimes.
It gets in the way.
But I wanted to see Spider-Verse. If anything, it's been getting fantastic reviews all across the board. They're saying it's one of the highest rated Spider-Man films altogether.
If it's anything even close as good to its predecessor, the first Spider-Verse, it has to be. I enjoyed that a lot. I know the one thing we did all do. We're all playing Diablo right now.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Along with the rest of the world.
Yo, listen, Diablo 4, fantastic.
Having a good time.
It is fun. It is fun. It's good to see good top-down dungeon crawling, hack and slash. It's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's back.
The animation is beautiful.
The cutscenes are ridiculous. The cutscenes are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even the gameplay, like when you look at the details in the gameplay, it's fucking wild.
Yeah.
It's a big step up from Diablo 3.
Yeah.
I'm doing the couch co-op thing.
Yeah.
Tons of fun.
Yeah, Blizzard needed a win. They needed something to hit and to kind of give them some good attention.
The sales numbers
from everything over the last couple of years here. Yeah. So I mean,
they've been shitting the bed for a while.
Yeah,
they
but
really
the first 6 days, it's their highest selling game ever. I mean, they saved their company.
It's give the people what they want.
They did.
Diablo has a formula.
I forgot all about Overwatch.
All they have to do is just not fuck. What? Listen, oh my god, what they did with that was such ridiculous. They literally were just changing the game on people's consoles and on their PCs to the new game, and then some people lost it because it was tied to a phone number or email account they no longer had access to. So now the game updated to part 2. And they could no longer even get onto the game.
Oh, that would irritate the fuck out of me.
Overwatch 1 and 2 were legitimately the same game.
Yeah.
It was the same shit.
It's the same thing. Bad. They fucked up hard with that.
Why shit on the people? Because that was a big game for a while. Why shit on those people and make them never want to come back? You lose taste for it.
Exact thing they did with Warcraft. Warcraft 3 Reforged. Yep. We played it for years. Yep. They updated it, and then you were forced to get the update.
Yep.
And that broke your ability to play offline.
Yeah.
you could no longer play custom maps and games offline.
Yep.
Which was the only way we played. I didn't care about playing with a bunch of randoms on fucking line.
I have a hub set up here in my house to play Warcraft where we could tie 8 computers together.
Yeah.
That we no longer can use. Fuck you, Blizzard.
Yeah. So like you have to find an old copy with an old key and reinstall it, and then you can't update it because if you update it, you're gonna get the new version, which makes it not possible to play the way you would actually want to play the game, which is the game they sold you when you first paid for it.
Yeah.
So that kind of shit over the last couple of years has really made them look bad.
I think a lot
on top of, the things like the Cosby room.
Yeah.
Yes, that room. Yes.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the gaming companies are changing their ways back because people are getting tired of the microtransactions for the most part. Like that was a phone thing that became popularized on the consoles that people are just like, it's what turned me away from Call of Duty.
Yeah.
All those microtransactions, I loved Call of Duty for years, and then all of a sudden I'm like, yo, what? I got to pay for fucking everything. They're like, did you turn on your console?
Listen,
$15. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's why
Diablo tries to do it, though. Diablo tries to get you to buy
customizations, though.
I don't
right?
care with the cosmetics. When it's cosmetics and it doesn't affect the gameplay, so be it. But it's why I got annoyed with so many fighting games. You pay for the game. All those other characters used to be hidden. You unlock, you get.
Yeah.
Now you got to keep paying for the next 2 years to get one character a month. I'm not playing that game for 2 years. I get to the end of the story, maybe with a couple of the characters, and I'm moving on. I'm not coming 2 years later for the character you showed me in the fucking trailer.
Yeah.
That's a download. Like, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right.
No, Mortal Kombat famously does it, and I love Mortal Kombat, and I love Injustice. I really do.
The new Mortal Kombat looks fantastic.
But what they do is, by the time I got Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, I didn't want to play the game
You were
anymore.
done. You were
It was
done.
like a year and a half later, they're like, Terminator Rambo. I did the download, played with them for like 2 weeks, and then I was like, all right, I'm done with the game. And, that's a problem. I like to get my stuff in the beginning and then let it play longevity-wise. I get it. They want to stretch it out. But as far as Diablo's concerned, I'm really happy with it. And I'm definitely going to be playing that game for a long time to come.
Yeah, they're trying to make it a super long game, but they've managed that with their previous games.
It's so big. I don't even know how you platinum it.
They already got 2 DLCs that they're talking about that are going to be coming down the line to expand the story and all of that things. And then they have all their seasons and shit. That shit I don't care about. I'm not here for my character to get to 100 to be sent back to fucking 0 to get back to 100 again. No thanks.
Oh, you mean like Prestige? Is that what they're trying to do with it?
No, it's not even Prestige. It's seasons. You Prestige at level 50, essentially. From 50 to 100, you get Paragon levels versus regular levels. So that's built into the game normally.
Okay.
But what they do with seasons is literally it resets and you're starting your character from 0. They had that with
and you don't have to do it though, right?
In part 3, you didn't have to do it. I don't know if I don't see it opened up in part 4 yet. I haven't looked into any of that stuff. Chances are by the time the season resets, I'll be through the game anyway.
Yeah.
And maybe when the new DLC, I'll jump in for those story bits and things like that. But those repeat nightmare dungeons, I got all of that out of my system with Borderlands and like the Mad Moxie DLC.
Yeah.
So like I don't play the games like that. At that point, I move on to a new story.
Gotcha.
I'm excited for Final Fantasy 16 coming down the line. I saw the demo was out. I didn't play it myself. I didn't feel like downloading a 20 gig demo.
God damn.
Exactly. But I did watch a guy's deep analysis of it, and it looks...
Yo, for a 20 gig demo, it's like the screen turns on Final Fantasy, and then it just done. That's it. That's all.
I was gonna say, I was like,
30.
I was like, why the fuck am I gonna download like a half-hour demo? Like, what the hell? Like, no. But supposedly, the stuff that I saw, the gameplay, it's fast-paced. Looks a little Devil May Cry-ish, like the battle system. But the way I'm gonna look at it is this: I'm not gonna look at the game for what I want it to be. I'm gonna actually play it with an open mind, and if it's good, I'm gonna enjoy it.
Fair enough.
If it's a pile of shit, you're gonna hear about it.
Fair enough.
We got a lot of stuff coming out with games right now. The Games Fest is happening. It's literally day 2 as we're recording now. So we only had seen, at least I've seen, what Xbox is released as of yesterday.
All I saw was the Fable trailer.
Yeah, Capcom has got some stuff, and Ubisoft is coming out with their stuff today, and then so on and so
is
forth.
That Fable, the Fable that was shut down in production?
Yes, it
is.
is.
That game, yeah.
So Fable is
I loved Fable.
They got a new game in
Yes.
production. It's coming to Game Pass. They did like the other trailer we just saw, the Outlaws, where it was just
Star Wars.
It was just cutscene trailer stuff, a trailer to kind of give you a feel of what it is, but not any actual gameplay.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of stuff that was like that, and then the stuff here and there that they could get gameplay in, they showed gameplay of. Like a Dragon, they didn't have any actual gameplay. They had like a 2-minute funny trailer, which really hits on the comedy of it, where I'm like, all right, that's honestly all I need from like a Dragon, because I enjoyed the first one so much that I'm like, you got the humor, I'm on board.
Okay, funniest dragon I've ever seen was in the Dungeons and Dragons movie. The fat dragon that was trying to kill everybody. Did you see it? Did you see Dungeons and Dragons yet?
Apparently, producers or whatever, the studio, whatever, didn't want the fat dragon at first, and somebody
fat dragon was
the fat
so
dragon in.
goddamn good. Imagine like Garfield, like an evil Garfield chasing down his food. And like even the way he was attacking was like, this motherfucker's like, I'm not even gonna fly. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna slide. I'm gonna like girthy my way into eating these motherfuckers. Like his tongue was coming out trying to like scoop him up off the I was like, this, but like in an evil fat dragon way. It was dope. I was like, that's another take on a dragon that I didn't know I would love until I got the chance to see it.
It was an excellent movie.
I wonder where I can watch
I think it's the type of movie you could probably watch again. The humor was solid enough.
Yeah, it definitely was. I'm sure if you type in like YouTube Fat Dragon Dungeons and Dragons.
Apparently the
I hope it'll come to Netflix or Prime. Sometime.
apparently the beach scene where he's walking, he kept walking because he couldn't hear them saying cut. So he kept walking, and then Chris was just ad-libbing shit as he was walking away. And they were like, fantastic. We're going to keep
it. He's walking for like 20 minutes. He's like, it's getting fucking hot out here.
Is he gonna go around the thing? He's like, nope, he's going over the top.
It's actually pretty funny. The special effects are actually very good in it.
Yeah.
It has some corniness to it, but what sci-fi fantasy film doesn't have a little
got to be some
corny in there.
And they had so many little nods. Even the Fat Dragon was a nod to some old D&D stuff. They mentioned even like Baldur's Gate was mentioned in there. They had they really had so many little things that people really like that are deep in Dungeons and Dragons would know and appreciate.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Another a trailer that we had seen.
Yes.
The Expendables.
Not as bad as Fast and Furious.
I thought you were gonna leave with the Nicolas Cage one first, but no, Expendables.
I'm gonna leave that for Ian. I'm gonna leave that for Ian. No, I'm disappointed. I mean, it has some of my favorite actors, and I mean,
Megan Fox.
Yeah. I mean, perfect in anything.
I look at Expendables the same way I look at like Transformers. Same way I look at Fast and the Furious. I'm gonna sit down. Yeah. And I'm just going to turn off my brain, and I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about, is this story groundbreaking?
Yeah.
No.
It's not going to be.
Definitely not going to be.
With 50 Cent in it, it's definitely not going to be.
It's really, is it going to be pretty to look at? Is the action good? Am I entertained by sitting here eating popcorn and just turning the fuck off for an hour and a half?
Is Jason Statham even aging? I mean, I think he's been a bald, middle-aged man since
25 years at least. At least 25 years.
It's almost the Patrick Stewart effect. If you start shaving your head young, you kind of don't notice the aging because the hair isn't changing.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
But he's still a really good actor. Like, you can put him in any movie. It doesn't matter how shitty the movie is.
He was a Olympic
and you're gonna enjoy watching him.
I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But
he also did a couple of music videos.
Really?
They're not good. They're not good. He's dancing in the background. They're hard to watch.
Oh man, I'm gonna look this up on the way home.
I'm in. I'll watch them. Where are they?
And Nick Cage has another movie out. I still haven't seen Renfield.
Sympathy for the Devil?
Sympathy for the Devil is what it's called.
He's leaning in.
It looks entertaining.
It looks more Nicolas Cage-ish.
Yes.
Like he plays out there.
It almost... what was the one that Tom Cruise did with Jamie Foxx?
Oh, God.
It almost feels reminiscent of that, where he gets in the car and he's like, no.
I know what you're talking about.
You're my chauffeur tonight. I've got something to do, and you're involved now.
Oh, God.
Jamie Foxx.
Not Ride Along, is it?
No, not Ride Along.
With Tom Cruise, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Tom Cruise movie. Collateral.
Yes.
Yeah. I was thinking Collateral Damage for some reason, but yeah, Collateral, yes.
Where he kind of like just commandeers his vehicle. Like, I got things to do.
Yeah.
You need to start driving.
But
this one looks a little more personal.
And it's in definite like Nicolas Cage fashion, just over the top dramatic shenanigans, and it looks like it could be fun.
He's leaning into it, and trailer wise, it looks funny.
Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, it's more up his alley. I saw the Renfield trailer. I was like, shit, I ain't seeing that. I was like, Nicolas Cage is Dracula? No, thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna sit down one day
if it's free.
Yeah, free.
If it comes out free, HBO Max, okay.
Once it comes to streaming, that's where I'll watch something like that.
Like, I'm having a shitty day already, so if I watch it,
Dungeons
it can't
and
make it any
Dragons
worse.
is $20 on Amazon Prime. I don't want to see it that bad.
Yeah, no.
Fuck.
You give it a little bit. I mean, Avatar: Way of the World is finally made.
Way of the World.
Way of Water. Way of Water.
The Way of the
World.
World.
It's so fucking long. It might as well be the Way of the World.
Listen, I'm watching it at home, and I've been watching it the last 4 days in like 1 hour intervals.
Took me 4 days. 4 days to watch the Snyder Cut.
Fern Gully 3 is a long watch.
It is. It is a fucking long watch. Now they're wet.
Yeah. You know what? It was good to watch it once in the movie theater. Some movies are just like that for me. Like, one, it's too long. Two, it's like there's too much.
There's 2 movies in it.
Too much going on. Yeah.
It's like the one is the alien, like, anti-whaling movie.
Yes.
And the other is the coming of age movie of the alien teens moving to the new area. It's oh my God.
I think he intended to have the whole series of Avatar be more movies. This is something he's mentioned. And he's kind of compressed it down a little bit because he doesn't think people are going to stick around for that many movies because everybody's already doing that thing where everything is multiple movies. So I know he's touched on it a little bit in interviews.
I almost didn't see Avatar.
Yeah.
This second one, I almost didn't see it. I was like, I have no desire to see this.
You know what? To be fair, I wouldn't be interested in watching that movie in 3 parts, right? As long as it is.
There's going to be dry Avatar people now.
Yeah. He's got several.
Sandatars.
He's got several Avatar movies.
That sounds dirty. I'm not saying that word again.
You said it.
I ain't saying that
Eddie,
again.
can you cut that in and loop it?
I'm pretty sure we could.
We'll make a gif of
that's
Ian
the last
going
time.
Sandatars.
Stop it. Stop saying that. That's so bad.
I think they got a video game coming as well, but
so bad.
It's just another one to add to the things of I'm not playing that.
Yeah.
Well, the story wasn't that compelling.
No.
I've watched the movie. I wouldn't play it. I wouldn't want to play any of those characters unless maybe it was like the human asshole marine and I'm exterminating the Avatar people.
Or maybe the guy that's hunting the whales.
You know what?
Whale simulator.
The whale.
You know what they could do?
That'd be a great game.
If they turn it into an RTS,
okay,
that could work.
Factions.
Yes.
You play either the tree Navi or the water Navi or the asshole humans.
Exactly.
Sandatars.
No, we're not.
They need to introduce another faction in the next movie.
Are there Swampatars? I would love to see like hillbilly avatars.
Speaking of RTSs, I'm glad you brought that up. There's a game that comes out later this month called Aliens: Dark Descent that I want to play. Okay. It's set in the Alien the Xenomorph universe where you control a team of Space Marines.
Okay.
And you are on this planet, and they supposedly they're going to introduce some kind of plot where there's new enemies that haven't been in the series before.
Interesting.
But you're trying to keep your squad alive.
Is it an XCOM style of game?
I believe so. You
Okay.
can have a team. You can, as you go on and upgrade your team, you can get more members. You can upgrade their equipment. It's supposedly try to get through the mission and survive and not have your team die, but there's other things they're throwing in, like controlling your team's sanity.
Well, you said RTS, though? It's a real-time strategy.
Yes,
Right.
that's right. I know what you're talking
You
about.
control their anxiety levels and stuff. You have to keep your team calm as they go through the fear of dealing with the alien species.
I'd be no good at that. I'd be like, fuck him, let him die.
He's too weak.
Kick him out the window.
Yeah. Space Marines don't have feelings. At least in StarCraft, they don't.
Bring in the guy from the Avatar. He never complains.
Exactly. I've killed so many Space Marines in StarCraft, it's not even funny.
I remember when they
give a shit about their feelings.
They were launching Midnight Suns, and I'm like, yes, a full X-Men game, all right. And then when it's XCOM, like I'm like, and that's a pass.
Listen, when you watch the Avatar, the only saving grace for the movie is the evil Marine guy. If you think about it, he gives a fuck about nobody.
You have to.
His team is getting murked left and right. He's like, we can still do this. We can still do this. Keep it moving, guys. Get those kids.
You have to admire his sheer will.
Oh yeah,
his sheer will and hatred for the main character, Jake Sully.
He hates Sully so much. At all costs.
He's willing to sacrifice himself. He doesn't care.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing. His son, he doesn't give a shit.
You gotta respect that. You know what?
I want to take down Jake Sully.
He's the only
got a job
man
to do.
that I respect in that movie.
Yeah.
He sticks to his guns.
He
literally.
does. Even though he was already killed and now he's a clone, he doesn't give a shit. Even my clone self is going to murder Jake Sully.
You know what would be great? This would bring me back into the Avatar world. If he made like 4 more clones of himself. And it's just like a whole squad of him.
Or they bring in Vin Diesel.
It becomes Clone Wars. It's just an army of him.
Oh, man. That would be great.
They could bring in Vin Diesel and like the whole cast of Fast X.
That would be nice, yeah.
Like the Navi family.
Yeah. Navi versions of them. They're
would watch
going
that
full Navi. This is for the family.
I'd watch that full crossover.
All right, speaking of crossovers, Tom Holland was actually saying that he would come back to reprise Spider-Man because he's been dealing with some mental instability of recent.
Must be dating Zendaya.
That's probably it. That's what's breaking him down.
That's really difficult.
He wants to do a movie with Hugh Jackman and Deadpool. I would be so into
Absolutely.
see that. Like, absolutely.
Spider-Man and Wolverine interact quite a lot in the comics. They get along very well.
Mm-hmm.
How's Hugh and Tom's relationship? How's that? Does anyone have any idea?
No, I mean, I think when you have Ryan Reynolds on the screen, he would make it work.
Yeah, I mean,
he's just one of those actors.
Hugh and Ryan Reynolds
would make it work.
Get along quite well, and they kind of make fun of each other with their own separate endeavors. So as long as Tom Holland can keep up, I'm sure they would be okay. Because that's more of the thing is, can young men keep up with these two?
I would think so. I think he'd be mentored to fall in line with those two. Those guys are seasoned actors. They've been in the business a long time.
None of those have had a health break for their mental health after doing a movie, though.
But none of them are dating Zendaya. So
speaking of mental health breaks, has anyone seen The Flash?
Has it come out?
Is it?
I thought it was out.
Is it out?
No.
Hang on.
It's out. Today's Monday. Maybe tomorrow.
Oh, I thought The Flash was out.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Oh, that was Flash movie. That was out already.
That might be a copyrighted song.
Get tickets Thursday.
June 16th. Never mind.
All right. So, it hasn't come out yet.
So plausibly Wednesday if you catch some early tickets.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it this weekend. I'm not going to rush to opening nights. Opening nights aren't what they used to be. I used to go to opening nights and enjoy it because it would be a full crowd, but now everybody's just waiting for the weekend.
I was going to say, then again, opening might be good because it would be fucking empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a good crowd. When it's a good crowd, like if you have the annoying kid or the parent that isn't watching their kids do stupid shit, or the people that are on their phone now, like the whole selfie thing in the movie theater, like, come on, watch a fucking movie.
Put the phone down.
Take it before the movie starts. Nobody gives a fuck about you. It's not that serious. So
people are taking selfies during a movie?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
People are assholes.
Yeah.
Jesus God.
Yeah. The Flash. Yeah, I'll
we need another
watch
pandemic.
Yeah, we do.
Jesus. If we're taking selfies in the middle of a movie, but COVID wasn't bad enough. I'm sorry. I apologize.
We need an ELE, an extinction level event.
Yeah, we need like a solar flare from the sun. Like that's what we need.
And then we just save the Puerto Ricans and the Japanese, and we mash them together to make one super race.
Let's save some more people.
Okay, Vikings. The Vikings. The Vikings. Oh wait, you're not even a Viking.
Let's save a couple white people.
You're like Swedish? Right? You're like Swedish?
I don't know, man. Let's just save some people. Don't make me write down a list who I want to get exterminated. The fuck?
No, we're not.
Just the Puerto Ricans and the Japanese? That's a pretty empty fucking planet. I mean, Jesus, dude.
23andMe, if you want to sponsor us so we can find out what Ian is.
Actually, my 23andMe, I can show you the email. My DNA is processing right now. I'm
okay.
I am on it.
Listen,
I am on it.
You underestimate the repopulation capabilities of mi gente, the Puerto Ricans. We will repopulate this earth. 10 years time. Don't worry about it.
It'll end up being a war between the Japanese and the Puerto Ricans.
That would be fucking awesome.
I think it would be over pretty quick too.
Yeah, Puerto Ricans always are known for carrying weapons, so it wouldn't be a fair fight. Look, all we got to do is wait them out. They're not gonna make any more. That's why we're trying to impose the meld, the mesh, the culture clash. Come on, we got to bring it in.
I don't know.
Another.
I'm just visualizing this war between Puerto Rico and Japan. This just doesn't look.
We just like go over there and just throw roosters. Just unleash the chupacabra. I mean, what's like a Japanese myth? What do they have for
Kappa, sea monsters? Teki, that woman that got ripped in half by the train.
They've got a lot of their horror movies are based on their myths, and there are a lot of them. There's
terrifying Japanese.
There's probably a million shrines, and they're all dedicated to keeping some shit in check.
Nice.
They actually made a movie about that urban legend. That legend is horrifying. Teki.
Yeah.
She was a woman that got, like, when they built the trains through the cities in Japan, that's when this rumor started. And it was a woman that got hit by a train, torn in half. Supposedly she stood on the train because of something with her lover, and supposedly just her top half.
God damn.
Like you'll be walking home at night, and like they said, there's a fog, and like you'll see this, like the top half of this woman, and it'll push itself up off the ground. And then it runs at you on its hands, and it's so fast that if it gets to you, it just tears you in half immediately.
God damn.
They made a movie about it, and it's fucking horrifying.
That's great.
These Japanese high school kids trying to run, and there's this woman's torso, like, it's like, oh, God, no.
This is an easy fight. You just hire Mr. Messi, the soccer player, punt that bitch across the street.
No, you can't let it get to you.
No one
It'll tear him in half.
No one wins in the Japanese horror movies.
Ever. All sad endings.
No one ever lives. They are more than happy to kill every main character, and the only thing that lives is the evil demon, and then they just move on.
It's not good.
All right, so look, let's talk about something nice, right? Speaking of another crossover, what would be another dope crossover you guys would like to see? Any genre, movie, TV show, like a dope crossover that you would think would be appealing to the masses. Like when they did Cowboys versus Aliens, at first I was like, this could be cool, right? But it wasn't. It was so bad.
Yeah,
that was so wrong.
Was that a comic first? I could have sworn that was
It
based
was
on
a comic first. But like the crossovers back in the day that I loved was like Batman versus the Predator.
That was good.
That was a fucking dope ass crossover.
Godzilla versus King Kong. That was
Godzilla versus King Kong. That's another dope crossover, right? I wouldn't even in the old X-Men 95, and it was a comic when they did a crossover with Captain America and Wolverine.
Yep.
That was dope. That was a cool combination. And they and it was Weapon X Wolverine.
Yes.
He wasn't sporting the bright yellow, And it was
Marvel
funny.
versus Capcom.
Well,
Marvel versus Capcom.
An interesting theory about the bright yellow, because whenever he's by himself, he's wearing black. When he's in a group, he wears bright yellow. And had someone...
Why? That's not even Canadian colors.
I'd seen someone pondering, he makes himself a target because he's immortal. So all the youngers and all the people training and all the people that would get hurt legitimately, he's protecting by making himself a big yellow target.
That's an interesting theory.
He could run around naked, though. That would really, show off. I'm not afraid of you at all.
I'm not afraid to take a stand.
You imagine Hugh Jackman out there just jumping around, dick out, like fucking blades,
It's like Dr. Manhattan all over again.
Exactly. All hairy, like Wolverine, just fucking covered in hair.
Adamantium dick.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Just swinging blades, cock flapping his thighs.
You think he breaks pelvises on the regular?
I mean, I don't know. Because his pelvis is adamantium. How much does Wolverine weigh?
He's shorter in the comic.
But if they grafted adamantium to his skeleton,
he's got some serious weight to him because of the adamantium skeleton. And then you say he has the muscle mass to move that skeleton around like no problem.
So Wolverine, Marvel weight, they say without the adamantium he's 195. Okay. With the adamantium he's 300 pounds.
Yeah,
so
in the comics,
110 pounds of adamantium grafted to his skeleton. Yeah. That's That's what I'm saying. That's a dense guy, and at the height of probably what 5'8".
You have to imagine
5'7"?
without
his agility is crazy.
Without it, he would be moving like Sabretooth, where he just bounces around all over the place.
Yeah.
But even with it, he still jumps up and down out of trees, quite acrobatically.
No, he does like tuck and rolls and everything. Like, they really need to drop that X-Men reboot on Disney Plus. I've been waiting for that shit to come back, but I think they're changing the animation on it.
Are they?
I thought they were gonna keep it at first, but I've seen some pictures online, and I hope that they're fake of some of the animation. It doesn't look bad, but I'm like, they should just stick with the, tweak it a little bit, but keep that
His
animation.
pain tolerance has to be through the roof. Too.
Maybe they feel like it's too old of a animation style. Well, I don't think...
It is. It's 90s.
Yeah.
It is outdated. I tried to rewatch it.
Yeah.
I rewatched it when it was on Disney Plus, the original X-Men Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. Some things are more magical when you remember them
Yeah.
than when you revisit them. Oh, that's something I could talk about real quick. When I went to the Sumo and Sushi, we had to kill some time. So we went down early in the day. We had a wonderful ceviche dinner at Ceviche 105. If you're ever in Miami and you want great ceviche, highly recommend it. However, what I fucking do not recommend, is the Miami Seaquarium. Jesus, you want to go to the most depressing fucking place. The only thing you could do to save that place is walk in, start a fucking fire, and leave. those animals need it'd be more humane for them to burn to death than for them to live in the environments there.
Yeah.
The manatee literally looked at me through the cage and said, or through the water and said, "Kill me." It said, "Kill me." I could see it mouth it, "Kill me."
Oh yeah, and like some of their attractions, I really don't understand. They were like, for $5 you could slap a seal. I'm like, why do I want to slap a seal for $5? How about $4? He's like, come on in.
Exactly. Dude, it's fucking horrible. The employees there aren't fucking cleaning anything.
No.
Not the bathrooms, not the tanks, nothing. I'm like, there are people getting in the water. They still have like that package where you can buy, like you can get in the water. I'm like, why are you in that water? Like, if you have a cut on your leg, you're fucking dead. Like, you're dead, sir. Like, you're not. No.
You're about to start a whole different pandemic.
The sharks don't move. The sharks just lay on. They're like, fuck this. Like. The moray eel was insane. I went to his tank. I looked in. He can't even fucking turn around, bro. He's in this tank. I'm looking at him going. He's looking at me like, he's like, this is my life. Like, I was like, dude,
you pay to see this?
It was the biggest.
You pay to see this?
The Miami Seaquarium is the biggest piece of shit I have been to in a long fucking time. It is the Hateful Eight of aquarium.
God damn.
I have been to. I make this a point when I visit someplace for the first time, and I'm like in North Carolina. If I can go to a fucking aquarium when I go at the end of the month, I'm gonna go. I've been to Nashville, Chattanooga, Baltimore, all these fucking places I go to the aquarium. Hands down, not even a contest. The Miami Seaquarium is the biggest piece of shit aquarium I've ever been to in my entire life. If you are thinking of going, do not fucking go.
Have you ever been to the aquarium in Key West?
No,
it's literally a fucking closet.
There's no way.
Listen, the guy said to me.
There is no way it's worse.
The guy said to me, he said, "Oh, when you buy the ticket, you could come all weekend long." I was like, "Oh man, this is a great deal for $8." I took one step.
$8.
I took one step in. I took another step, and I was out of the aquarium, out the back door.
Okay. $8, right?
Yeah.
$8 per person?
Yeah.
Fucking Miami Seaquarium is like $100 for two people.
Oh.
There's no fucking contest. The biggest piece of shit aquarium. You need to, like, the people of Miami need to rise as one and go murder the employees and somehow drag the orca out to the fucking sea. Who cares if the orca will die in the sea after being in captivity for so long? He's gonna fucking die in there. Yeah. Give him a day of freedom. Right? Let him talk to a real dolphin. Like let him sink a ship in Miami Harbor. Let him do something. Jesus Christ.
Yo, speaking of sinking ships,
orcas are doing that now.
Yes.
Off the coast of Spain.
I heard about that. And they're teaching each other how to do it.
One of those orcas probably got hit by a boat.
Yes.
And now they're like, fuck all these boats.
That's fucking wild.
I believe the matriarch of a tribe got hit. So they are now hitting boats. Yeah, they're smart animals. They remember. And now
they're like, we're just tired of your shit.
Yeah.
We're sick and tired of your shit.
I do caution the orcas, though, because humanity, we have a horrible track record of fuck with us, we fuck with you back.
Yeah.
And I really don't want people machine gunning orcas to death.
No.
But it's coming.
It wouldn't even go that far. They'll just hire Monsanto to create some special seaweed.
Or a robot that swims through the water and murders the fucking orcas.
They're like, no, it's good for them. It's good for them.
You tell me they couldn't make a harpoon drone? They could make a fucking harpoon drone.
I'm sure they could.
Where you pilot it and you shoot it it through the whale. Like, look, mommy, look what I killed one. Like, they'll make an Xbox controller out of it.
Sounds like a fun game. I mean, terrible
Exactly.
game. Yeah.
Absolutely horrible.
Did you see that video of that guy in Egypt that got eaten by a tiger shark?
No, I didn't.
That's fucking raw, and you can Google it when you guys are off the air.
Holy shit.
That is wild.
What was happening?
Apparently it's a Russian dude. I saw the whole video. Watched it multiple times.
It had to be hard to watch.
Oh, very difficult. But anyway,
you watched it a couple of times. Okay.
So it's a Russian guy.
He sounds really broken up about this.
Yeah, I'm torn up. Yeah. He's out for a swim, right? He's out for a swim, and I guess he was near a fishing village in Egypt, but he was just out for a swim in the water, and they filmed the whole thing. They filmed the beginning of the attack right up to the end.
Jesus.
It killed him and ate him.
Damn.
It was, and like when you watching the video, it is a gigantic.
And wait, so they're recording, but nobody could help him?
He was way too far out there. He's way too far out there. And another horrible note: there was a guy. Apparently, one of the guys on the beach was his dad.
I mean,
So it was like raw.
what are you gonna do? Go over there and punch him?
Oh, there's nothing you can do. You see this shark? It is so fucking big.
That's like the
if you would have went in that water to try to help that guy, you'd have been course number 2.
a
You'd have been
video
course number 2.
that popped back up into my feed recently has been the zoo where the lady gets out of the car because she's fighting with her husband.
Oh, the drive-through zoo?
Yeah.
And the tiger just takes her?
She's in the fucking, what, is it a tiger cage or a lion cage?
I thought it was a tiger, yeah.
And he's getting out telling her, get in the vehicle. And then the thing attacks her, pulls her out.
off the road.
So then the mother gets out of the back seat to go help the daughter. The mother is the one that ends up dying at the end.
Wow.
But it's like, you got giant, multi-100-pound cats. Stay the fuck in the car.
Bro,
listen.
I'm
What are
shutting
you
the door and rolling the
doing?
window
What were they
up.
arguing about? What were they arguing about? Where this bitch was just like, I'm getting the fuck out.
Some people are just fucking dumb. But seriously, I'm closing the door, rolling the window up, like,
Listen,
fuck you, bro.
I have some sympathy for guy trying to get his cardio in, going for a swim, gets eaten by a shark. He went out there not expecting to get eaten by a shark.
Yeah.
Lady that got out of the car in an enclosed tiger exhibit.
You're gonna get eaten.
Natural selection. Thanks for showing up. Like, I'm sorry. It's just the way it is.
Yeah,
if you get the fuck out of the car in the tiger exhibit, you've worn out your welcome.
You think?
Yeah.
You think that the shark listens to Wu-Tang and he was eating the guy? He's like, tiger style.
Maybe.
Tiger style.
Maybe. He was doing a good job, though. This
went to
tiger,
town, huh?
yeah. Oh, my God. At one point, the guy's legs come out of the water. This fucking shark was ragdolling his ass. It was not a good look. Not a good look. This is a hell of a shark.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I don't go swimming in the beach.
We-
We got pools for that shit. I don't need to be in the beach. I'll take a lazy river any day on a nice
Even the
inner
pools
tube.
in Florida aren't safe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You turn your head for a second, and you got an 11-foot reptilian pool mate. Like,
Welcome to Florida.
that's how we do it down here. That's how we do it.
So, Ed, out of the games that you've seen, if you had to pick one that you're looking forward to, what are you considering? I like the Star Wars. I didn't really see any of the other stuff, but I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, and I played that last Star Wars game, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do next, especially considering you were saying that it's an open world.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an open world
Yeah.
for the Star Wars Outlaws. Cyberpunk has got a DLC that's coming out. Something that actually looked interesting was Clockwork Revolution. It's one of the studios that they had just purchased for Xbox did, and it's like the first game that they're going to be putting out since the acquisition. It was the first time that it was shown. It looks interesting enough where it's like, let's see where this is going. Starfield still looks interesting to me. The game looks gigantic. It really is its own little universe. It looks like you got a whole mystery that you're trying to solve, that you're kind of being set out there into this, somewhat procedurally generated world. So they got like the cities that they actually built by hand like they normally would, but the planets that you go to as you're looking for things get created as you're landing.
Interesting.
So like, so like the missions that are there were crafted, but as you're landing, the world is being kind of designed when you're getting there. So it's something huge they're really trying to do with it. There's only one other game that really did the procedurally generated universe. I'm drawing a blank on it now, and it was a spacefaring game as well.
I know what you're talking about, where it generated different planets and different
Everywhere you
species
went,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. It was supposed to be like a huge game, but it
ended
did
up
well, right? But it didn't.
It ended up being a huge game. They were a small studio. Man, I gotta look it up now. But they ended up really turning it around eventually once they had kind of got it all under control, and they didn't like just ditch the project after it launched, because they were a small studio that was just their first game that they were putting
passionate
out.
about it.
So you're looking for you more looking forward to the Starfield one or the Clockwork one? Which one?
Well, right now, still looking forward to Starfield, just because it's the first IP Bethesda is putting out that's new in like 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
And when they were doing the interview with Todd Howard, he was saying, this is a thing that we've kicked around like in the lunchroom for decades.
Yeah.
Like we always talked about like, what would we do if we did a space game?
Right.
So you're saying this is probably something that, at least for the longtime employees, that they've had the chance to kind of sit with for such a long amount of time.
Right.
And it became to the point where like, oh, I think we have the technology to finally do this thing.
Finally get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see, because it's a huge project for them as well as for Xbox, but just the game in general and what they're attempting to do just looks massive. It looks like a game that you're intended to play for years.
Right.
Shit. Oh my
What
God.
about you, Ian?
Me, hands down, it's gonna be Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
I was really skeptical when I found out it was gonna be live action battle and all that shit. I was like, oh man, like I don't want to play another hack and
No
slash.
Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
No
Yeah.
Man's Sky. Excellent game, especially after a lot of the updates they did.
That's like what the hell's the Subnautica kind of?
Yeah, it's wholly a different game from launch to what it is now, and all the updates have been free, and you can just get them. They really put their effort and work into the game as a studio, even though like none of that stuff they're having people pay for to get. They're like, no, this was what we were intending to do, but this is what we launched, but we're gonna bring it across the line anyway.
Well, it's Bethesda, so whatever they release is going to be at least
For
it's gonna
Starfield,
be
yeah,
quality.
it'll be interesting to see what they do, especially after the success of No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Even Fallout 76, all this time later, that Bethesda stuck
They
with.
fixed some of the problems.
It's a completely different game from launch that it is now, and it's got a huge dedicated fan base that just sticks with it, and they keep churning out content for it. They just showed a DLC that they're putting out later this year for Fallout 76. They're not letting that one drop either. They're going to probably keep pushing that across the line until they put out their next proper full Fallout game.
So for me, yeah, it's Final Fantasy 16. It's one of my favorite game series from my childhood. Despite all the negative shit that I saw, and I was all my doubts about it, everything that they released recently has been good. So I'm excited for that, and it's later this month.
There's always a chance that they put out another big hit. They've done it so many times.
Yeah.
They just haven't done it in a long time.
But
Yeah.
I would absolutely say the honorable mention across the board is going to be Fable. I mean, like, they've always never been, they're just good games. Like, they've never been like, oh my God, I'm going to keep replaying it. But, like, I can always say, like, if I picked
Fable
up Fable
1, I replayed the shit out of it.
I could go into it, play it, and I'm going to enjoy it. I think Fable 3 for me was my favorite.
Yeah.
Or was it 2? Which one had the dog?
With this one here, Peter Molyneux, the kind of the original
it was
head,
Fable 2 or 3 that I like.
is not involved, and it's a whole different studio that's doing it. But they put out a little trailer kind of showing their vision of the world. And it looks interesting enough where I'm like, all right, I'm on board. Let's see what they're going to do.
Could be good, could be bad.
Yeah.
All right. But we all are playing Diablo 4. We'll keep you updated on how that goes. And Druid with a bear and lightning. I'm going that route.
And I think I'm with Ed here with the Necromancer.
Yeah.
Raising the dead.
Nice.
Raising the dead.
Gotta raise the dead.
Level 40 Necromancer at the moment.
Nice.
I have
Got
a
me
nice army of 12
Necrophiliacs
that I'm running with right now because I got a couple of boosts to the amount that I could keep.
Eddie's all into that necrophilia. He's like, we're going in. I need 12 of them. Damn, bro.
Fighting evil with evil.
That's what you do.
All right. Take it away. Thank you for joining us at the Sofa Kingdom podcast, and you can find us on all your social media platforms at
Sofa Kingdom OFC.
You can find us on YouTube at
Sofa Kingdom Podcast.
Ian, take us away, sumo style.
Make sure you guys avoid the Miami Sea Aquarium. We got to get the memo out. You got to shut that fucking thing down.
All views are expressed by Ian are not views of the Sofa Kingdom podcast and views individually.
Shut it the hell down.
Ian Banks himself.
If you're having a good day in Miami and you want to change it, go visit the Miami
Sofa Kingdom podcast does not endorse murdering of patrons of the zoo.
Stare into the eyes of those penguins. Stare into their eyes.
Are you not depressed enough?
And you tell me you should fix them. Oh, go to the zoo. The zoo's great. The Miami Zoo can't say enough good things about it. $22 a ticket. Can't beat that.
Yeah.
But not the $50 to get into the shithole that is the Miami Sea Aquarium.
Hey,
Jesus.
And while
God.
you're there, take a piss on the floor. Everyone else does.
Everyone else does. No one cleans it up. Nobody gives a fuck there.